Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Wednesday, the 13th of January, comes to you from London. And we're seeing a mixed set of colours on the screen. Asia and Europe down a little bit, and so just interesting. Just first glance at the markets. My long-term weekly, my daily, daily medium term, and my 60-minute short-term charts with the corresponding point and figure targets. So looking at the dollar, we had a bit of a rise over the past week, but we're just starting to fall away again. That longer-term trend still dominating. Euro sitting at 121.85. Seeing a little bit of recovery, but not enough to take it above the cloud short term. Sterling sitting at 136.74, holding its own against the dollar, pushing back towards that 137 level. And that means also that we're stronger against sterling, sitting at 112. That's the highest level we've been since November. So we're really starting to see a little bit of the sterling movement there. Lots of things potentially behind that. Brexit behind us, the vaccine. But the fact is the chart just says sterling is going up. The next level is 112.69. That's the level we need to break. To get us back above the cloud, we need around 113. Looking at Bitcoin, we're sitting at $34,000. We're up 2% this morning. We have pulled back very dramatically. We did really fall $10,000 in the space of a day or so, but we do seem to have found support. Be interesting to see if we can get back above the cloud on that short term. No new targets to play for on the longer term charts, but we do have a target back to 36 on the shorter term chart. The S&P 500 index was barely changed yesterday. The Nasdaq, we did see, again, just a little bit of fall away, not really managing to move any higher than Nasdaq. The Dow was up 0.2%. That's a defensive stock starting to kick in, so it's quite interesting. We are seeing this rotation between defensive stocks and tech stocks starting to be a little bit out of favour. Seeing the futures this morning, not much change on the S&P, a little bit up on the Nasdaq. The VIX volatility sitting steady at 23, so the market's not that fearful at the moment. Looking at the DAX in Germany, we're slightly down. The CAC 40 is slightly up. So not much change there. Japan was up 0.33%. It continues to push higher. We're at 10,000, nearly 17,000. It's an amazing move for Japanese markets over the last several months. The Hang Seng was down very slightly, and China down slightly, but the breakout is still very much in place for China. India was down 0.7%, so markets just generally falling back a little bit. Oz was up slightly, so not a lot of action happening there. Gold is little changed this morning. We haven't yet made it back above the cloud, but it does look like we might be finding some support there on the daily. We ultimately need to get back above the cloud on the daily for gold to run again. Silver is down just under 0.5% this morning, and copper was up just under 1%, so we are seeing a move there. Really massive move in bond yields. We had this dramatic rise. We touched 118. And we've come all the way back to 111. So really significant, that move in bond yields. So one to watch. There's a downside target there to just below 1. We'd need to fall below around 110 to activate that downside target. So just keep an eye on that. Taking a look at the energy mix now, it's mostly red on the screen yesterday. We had a very strong day yesterday, especially in gas. Brent crude is up 0.5%. It's pushing higher. No clear targets. We do have one on the 1 minute chart to 58, so watch that for $58. That's another 2% higher. WTI is sitting at 53, and again we do have a target to 54.60 there, so pushing higher. But at the moment, crude oil is just sitting steady, really. It's edging higher. US nat gas sitting at $2.75. It had a bit of a jump at the start of the week, but we have come back a little bit. It does look like we are breaking this trend. Is quite interesting there. We're seeing that move through the trend line, so quite key there on nat gas, and it does look like that downtrend might well be over. Shortage of upside targets is the main concern. We did have one to 281, which was met on the 0.5% chart, and on the 1 minute chart we do have a downside target that is activated to 250, so it's a very hard call. Storage numbers tomorrow, of course, will be key. Coal sitting at $73, so back making new highs, so that's really significant. We again short of upside targets, but it is clear that coal is breaking higher. And if we look at emissions, sitting at 34.62, that €35 mark on emissions just proving a little difficult. So looking at gas yesterday, we had massive moves in NBP. We've pulled back this morning, but we shouldn't be surprised to see that. We've come back to that 70.53 level on the 60-minute chart, so that's really quite significant and definitely something to watch. And on TTF, we're down 6%. These prices are from Icon, Refinitiv Icon, but I'm also looking at Saxo. So I find that the Saxo data, this data coming via PSM, very strong in gas in Holland. So this is more, if you like, synthetic OTC data. This is tradable data on the Saxo plan fact that's generated from the OTC market. So just do get a little bit more visibility on the targets there, so I do like that. And again, looking at the season, we get a little bit better chart. There's the season there, and if I look at the seasonal on Icon, it's just not quite as granular. Looking at power markets, we've got German power. Just lots of upside targets, but just struggling to break out this morning. We did see that level there where we got that little bit higher on German power, but we're just struggling to break that little bit higher. It broke but came back, so it's edging higher. We have got good upside targets longer term, so it does look like power will get off in the next few weeks. Taking a look at French power. No change yet this morning, but we are seeing again good upside targets there. Again, going to the Saxo data, the Dutch power chart, much more granular here. Again, this data tradable from the OTC market, so looking pretty strong there as well. And taking a look at Nordic power, we've got the Cow, not much change, but just holding steady. And last of all, UK power sitting at 54.70. Has moved higher, and we've got targets to 58, 59, still upward pressure for UK power. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.